Hello, welcome back. Let's talk about school loans because a lot of us have them. Actually, first, let's talk about the Jets winning over the Cowboys. I don't know when this video is going up, but tonight was lit. Are the kids still using that word? Lit? I don't know. Anyways, it was very exciting to see Jets come out on top. So I will say, however, Jets are my hometown team. They're not actually my favorite team. They're my dad's favorite team, so I do wear this in honor of him. My favorite team is the Packers, so we will see how they do Monday night. Fingers crossed. They're playing the Lions, so we'll see how it goes. Moving on, back to school loans. So, school loans. They are helpful and harmful. Some of us don't have options. Sometimes we have to take out school loans. So I can only speak to it on my experience. Everybody has a different experience, so I'm just going to let you know what I know, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, because I've made a good amount of them. So when I chose to go to college, I chose a beautiful school that was very expensive because it was a private school. And when you're 18, you're not really thinking of the end game. You understand, like, I'm gonna owe X amount of loans when I'm done. But like, you don't really process it. You can't, not that you can't, but you don't necessarily understand how hard it's gonna be to find a job that pays X amount of dollars to be able to pay X amount of school loans back. So for me personally, I had over $100,000 in school loans for your typical four-year school experience. I chose that. I went to this college. That's on me. But it made life a little hard, and I know that there are other kids out there that are smarter and who either have gotten scholarships or were smart enough to write in and, win grants and things like that. So those are things that I necessarily didn't know were totally available. Our guidance counselors were not the most informative. Like, if you were proactive about it, I'm sure they had information, but I was the first one in my family to go to school, so I didn't really know the drill. And I'm not now, I guess I am more, but like at the time I was way more laid back and kind of go with the flow. So like, I wasn't super proactive about it. I just was like, I know I need to go to college, so I'm gonna apply and I'm gonna get in, and the end, and then I'll take out loans and go. So yeah, here I am thinking, like, whatever, I'm gonna graduate and I'll find a job and I'll pay it back and it'll be fine. And like, it is fine. I'm figuring it out. I am working jobs. I am paying it back. But had I been smarter, I would have chose to go to the public school that I got, accepted to instead of the private one that I thought was prettier and nicer and smaller. And I can't say that I regret going there because my experience was amazing. I came away with some amazing friends, some amazing experiences. But I maybe wish I did things differently. High schools nowadays even offer college programs in their high school, and my sisters took advantage of that. They weren't totally a thing when I was in high school. Like, our high school didn't have an agreement with a ton of like colleges and stuff like that. But once my sisters went to school, they did start having that. So I would recommend, if you are in high school or going to be in high school, looking into that. Because if you can get, I know out here in Texas, they even have agreements where you could get your associates already in high school. And if you can get out of high school already having an associate's or even any type of college credit under your belt, that is a huge deal and going to save you a lot of money. So highly recommend looking into that, looking into any types of grants that you can write in for, any types of scholarships that you can look into, whether it be sports or academic, or I don't really know what else is out there, sports or academic. I guess you could be gifted scholarships, right? But yeah, just look into your options, be aware of everything. And I guess that's it. Yeah, just be smart about it. Don't just kind of put it on the back burner, because in the end it's gonna burn you. I like that little pun. Yeah. Anywho, if you've made the choices that you've made and you're in my boat, you will get through it. We will get through it. We are slowly, inevitably chipping away at the debt. Okay, so some tips that I do have for the point where you're at repaying your loans, because that's where I am right now, and that's kind of what I wanted to make the video about. For the most part, I kind of went on a rant there about, you know, scholarships and grants and everything. But, you know, c'est la vie, didn't do that. Now, paying them back, definitely you can look into refinancing your loans. I personally have not, because when I went to go try to do it with SoFi, I didn't make enough money for them to refinance, which is weird because I didn't make enough money to be paying the huge amount that they were asking. So I was like going, like my bank account was getting lower and lower every time. Luckily, I figured that out, and I did get an additional job to get some income. But yeah, at the time, SoFi would not let me refinance my loans. However, for some people, that is an option. So you can refinance your loans and pay it at a smaller rate. That's good and bad. Some people have already low interest rates. Not most people anymore, but some people do, lucky enough. So if you are one of those people who have a smaller interest rate, you may not want to refinance your loans. However, if you have a massively high interest rate, you can look into refinancing your loans, and they will probably have an interest rate of about the same amount. And they'll take all of your random loans and put them into one, which will be nice because then you would just be paying it all in one place. I am currently paying like 4 different places. So there is that option. Another option is you can, if you have the ability to, when I did start making more money, the best advice my dad gave me was to overpay your loans. Pay more than what you owe, because whatever you are paying is basically only going to that interest rate. So your principal is still sitting there. The amount that you actually owe is still sitting there. And then they are building interest on what you owe, and your payment is like going to that, not really attacking your principal rate and bringing it down. So if you can pay more, make sure that you do. That way you're starting to hit that principal rate and starting to bring that rate down, so they have less to charge you in interest, essentially. Another thing is, I want to say it was with Navient or Navient, however you say it, I'm not sure. But I have like, within that loan, they're broken up into like 3 different loans, and I did not realize that you can actually go in, if you log in online, you can go in and assign how much you want to a specific loan. So like 2 of my loans are at, you know, at whatever percent, and another loan is at a higher percent. So whenever I pay extra money, I make sure that it goes to that higher percent loan. So be cognizant of that, be aware of that, because if you're just paying it automatically, they're dictating where it's going to, and I guarantee you they're putting it to your smaller percentage rate so that they can make more money off of you on that larger percentage rate. So have control of that, make sure you're going in there and allocating it, and it might be that once you allocate it, that's how it stays. I don't totally remember, because I don't have the 3 anymore, so I just have the ones that are all at the same amount, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But I'm pretty sure that it was, once you set it, it stays like that. So those are some tips. And also you can pay, you can like set payments. So like through your bank, if you have a hard time remembering, because you don't want it to affect your credit, you're already paying all this money, you don't want it affecting your credit, you can set payments to just automatically pay. And then you don't really have to think about it. However, do be aware that your interest rates may be able to change depending on what kind of loan you have. So my interest rates every now and then change to be matched, I guess, with market value. And so every now and then they will up my payment by like a silly amount. It'll be like 48 cents more, or like $5 more. And because I have automatic payments, I don't necessarily always look at like my statement, because I pay it and whatever. And so don't get caught in that. Don't get caught not knowing how much, like if there's an increase or anything, because they will ding you. They've done it for me before. And it's really annoying, especially because I was paying over the amount anyways. But it was going, like I said, to the one loan versus the other one, so I wasn't paying enough to that other loan kind of thing. I don't know if that was clear, but the point is keep track of how much you owe because they can change the amounts on you. Sorry. That's most of the tips and tricks that I have. I think, you know, if I find out anything more, I'll let you guys know, but those are some of the things that I've run into and things I didn't necessarily know about when I was paying back my loans, and just interesting things that, you know, they don't always tell you, but are good to know. So hopefully that helps. That's all I have. I'm gonna go, and I will talk to you soon. I don't know what my next video is gonna be about, so if you have suggestions, let me know. I am asking people to allow me to interview them so that we can start getting some insights into careers and jobs and things of that nature. So hopefully that's coming soon. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.